Hello and welcome to the Fantasy Clinic. I'm the Fantasy Doctor. Today I'm going to be prescribing you guys all the best NBA lineups to use for daily NBA fantasy on DraftKings and Fanduel for you guys to have the best chance of winning a big bag. Let's get into it. So to start it off, I'm going to tell you guys the three most valuable picks you can have on DraftKings today, starting off with DeMarcus Cousins. So DeMarcus Cousins, the pros to him is 45 projected fantasy points, only at a 6,000 salary, and his value is 7.5 fantasy points per 1,000 salary, and that's the highest value tonight on DraftKings. He's also scorching hot right now. He's had super good performances lately, and he's a stat padder and he has a big upside. He can go for those big, even higher than 45-point games. Like last night, he had a near 60-point game, I believe. And Christian Wood should still be out. He is listed as doubtful, but 95% chance is that he is out, and DeMarcus Cousins should be getting all this production today. Our next most valuable pick of the day for DraftKings is Isaac Bonga. Isaac Bonga is projected to get 24 fantasy points at a 4,100 salary. That's a value of 5.9 fantasy points. And his whole team is injured, and he has a really great matchup. He's going against a terrible defense in the Rockets, and he should be putting up solid numbers. The cons to him are that I doubt he'll get much more points than that 24 points. And there's always a potential that he even goes like half of that, like in the 15 or under point range, since he's not like a star player or anything like that. And he won't be getting the ball too much today. But regardless, he should still be a very good pickup for the day. Next up, we got Jerome Robinson. Now, this guy's been going off. He's been doing better and better per game. His last two games, he's improved both of them like quite significantly. And this 23 projected fantasy points is a very solid number for him. He might even be going a bit higher than that, in my opinion. And he's only at a 4,000 salary. That's pretty cheap. He's going to be playing heavy minutes today. His whole team is injured. And he has a great matchup again, same as Isaac Bonga against the Rockets. Terrible defense. And the only cons to him is, again, he is playing with two other superstar level players in Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal, so there is a chance that he completely just busts and has a terrible performance under 15 points per game or something like that. Okay guys, now we're going to be getting into the best, most optimal NBA lineup you can use for the main slate in DraftKings today. So here's the lineup. We got Mike Conley, Bradley Beal, Jerome Robinson, Nicholas Batum, DeMarcus Cousins, Alec Burks, Isaac Bonga, and Victor Oladipo. Now, let's get into FanDuel and start it off with the three most valuable picks you can have in FanDuel today. So to start it off, Jerome Robinson is still going to be the most valuable pick you can have for FanDuel today. He has projected to get 22 fantasy points in FanDuel, a little bit lower than DraftKings, but that's because the scoring system is a little bit different. And he's actually cheaper here at a 3,600 salary, and actually has a higher value over here compared to DraftKings at a 6.1 fantasy points per 1,000 salary. Again, his whole team's injured. He has a great matchup, and he's been doing great last couple games. He can bust. And I doubt he's going to be doing too good. For for FanDuel, however, the value pickups for FanDuel are a bit different compared to DraftKings. They're more balanced today on this site compared to DraftKings, so he's not going to be necessarily the best pick. There are players who are going to be getting significantly more fantasy points in total, maybe if not at a better value, but for sure performing more fantasy points, in which case he might not be the most optimal pickup for you, but definitely at least include him in one of your lineups if you are doing multiple lineups. The next valuable pickup for FanDuel is Nicholas Batum. He's projected to get 24 fantasy points at a 5,500 salary, value of 6.1 fantasy points per 1,000 salary. And he's going to be getting more minutes today. A lot of people on the Clippers are not playing today, especially the two big stars, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George. And Nicholas Batum has been seen going off in terms of fantasy points whenever Paul George or Kawhi have been sitting out. and a lot of the offense will be running towards him today, most likely. Now, the only cons to him are that he is somewhat inconsistent, and that's about it. The next most valuable pickup of the day is Serge Ibaka. Now, Serge Ibaka is projected to get 35 fantasy points at a 5,800 salary. That's a value of 6.1 fantasy points per 1,000 salary. And he's pretty consistent. He always hovers around that 30-point fantasy mark. And today he's going to be seeing more touches for sure. And today he actually could go quite off, since a lot of his rebounds do get taken away when Kawhi and Paul George are playing, and I do see him getting definitely double-digit rebounds for sure today. The only cons to him is that he doesn't have the highest ceiling. I don't see him going completely off, getting anywhere near that 40-point fantasy mark, but nonetheless, he's still a great value pickup that you should have on all your teams. Now, let's get into the most optimal main slate lineup you can use on Fanduel today. So the lineup is Lou Williams, Reggie Jackson, Bradley Beal, Alec Burks, DeAndre Hunter, Nicholas Batum, Julius Randle, Serge Ibaka, DeMarcus Cousins. Okay guys, if you stuck till this point, I have a bonus lineup for you guys. I'm going to be giving you guys the best optimal lineup for the New York Knicks versus the Utah Jazz matchup on FanDuel today. Here's the lineup, guys. Julius Randle for MVP, Rudy Gobert for the star, Jordan Clarkson for the pro, and then Alec Burks and Emmanuel Quickley for the 2 utility slots. So there you guys go. Those are all the best lineups of the day. If you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe and turn on post notifications to never miss the best lineups of the day. And hope these lineups really helped you out today. And let me know in the comments how you guys did today. And I will see you guys next time.